guys, welcome back to the Omaha Places podcast. I'm your host. My name is Cahner, and I'm the founder of Omaha Places and 402 Social. And Delaney is in Charleston this week, so we have a very special guest, Brooke Nuneviller. I knew I was going to mess that up.
It's a tough one.
But she is a player on the Omaha Supernovas volleyball team. And thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
We really haven't had that many guests on the podcast before, just like the format that we follow. It's sometimes a little hard to have guests on. So we're always really excited when we do have guests. Mm-hmm. And I think you're our first guest from any sort of like sports team in Omaha.
Let's go.
Which is also really exciting. Okay, so I'm going to start just by kind of like letting our listeners get to know who you are and who the Omaha Supernovas are. So can you just introduce yourself and kind of like say what you do?
Yeah. So my name is Brooke Nuneviller. I'm a part of the Omaha Supernovas. I've been playing volleyball for a very, very long time, since I was 7. I was born into a volleyball family, fast forward to college, and I went to the University of Oregon and then played in Turkey a little bit, and now I'm here. But yeah, I'm excited to be here. I've lived in Omaha for a couple of years now. It's a great place. And yeah.
So if people are not familiar with the Omaha Supernovas, tell us like who you guys are and why people should come check out a game.
So a lot of people, like, they'll ask me when I'm traveling through the airport, we're wearing our Supernovas gear, and they'll see like Omaha Supernovas. They're like, oh, who is that? And I tell them we're a professional volleyball team, but I think a lot of people don't know because we play for a league called Pro Volleyball Federation, and it's been around for now. This is the 2nd year. So it's really just been over 14 months now that professional volleyball has really existed in the States, at least this league. And so we won the championship last year in our inaugural season, and then we're about halfway through this year, and we're ranked 1st in the league so far. So we're doing great. But we have a really great team, really great organization.
That is so cool. Yeah, I feel like that's such like an underrated thing in Omaha. I'm like, you guys are so good. Like if you're ranked number 1, why aren't people like why don't they have the same amount of hype that they do for like Creighton basketball or something?
I feel like in Omaha, it's pretty well known. Like I'll walk around the grocery store, and it's hard. If I'm wearing something Supernovas, it's hard for someone not to say something to me.
Yeah.
It's when we're like traveling to another city, another state, where it's really less known. I think in Omaha, in the state of Nebraska, we have a huge volleyball fan base, and just the Supernovas do a fantastic job marketing it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you've been living here like 2 years, you said?
Yeah, so I moved here December of 2023. So about like 15 months.
Okay. What were your initial thoughts about Omaha?
I didn't know what to expect. And I'd actually played in Omaha before in college. The COVID season, the bubble tournament was in Omaha. And so I got to experience it a little, but it was a bubble. So not to the extent I wanted to. So I didn't know what to expect. And when I got here, I was really pleasantly surprised. I mean, the city's bigger than I expected. The people are just the absolute best people to be around. They're so kind. They support volleyball so much. And I've had a bunch of fun. That's why I came back for season 2.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so can you tell our audience, like, what does either a day in the life or a week in the life look like for you, as far as like both with practices and games and stuff, and then also like outside of practice, kind of like where you're hanging out in Omaha, that kind of stuff?
So we practice. If we have 2 games a week, we're practicing 4 days a week outside of those 2 games. And then we'll also have a serve and pass in the games. But in the mornings is usually when we're practicing and lifting. Anywhere from like 9 to 1 p.m. is usually our block, our standard block. Outside of that, I love to cook. Like that's a big hobby of mine. So I'm always like prepping something in the kitchen every single day, making stuff in the future, or just making life easier by like chopping vegetables or something.
Yeah.
Hanging out with teammates for sure. We do a lot of like team dinners. We are really big on The Bachelor.
Ooh,
so we started watching this season together, and now it's the finale next week, and we're all really excited. But yeah, we love hanging out with each other. I also love music and any like activities outdoors, or just like workout classes. I don't really participate in them much during season, but like if we have an off day, like a nice little like yoga class is always nice. But yeah, I mean, we're traveling a lot. Usually it's rare that we're not traveling once a week, if not every other week. Luckily, the few weeks coming up, we're at home. So come check us out.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So you're hanging out with the team a lot. Do you guys have any like go-to spots that you've gone to for like team bondings or stuff? Or is it mostly just like you're hanging out at someone's house?
We've had a couple team dinners, like just casual. Who wants to go get food at
Mhm.
Blue Sushi? We have a lot
Yes.
of sushi lovers. Also, post games, we go to Let It Fly almost after every
Okay.
home game, which is a lot of fun because it's just like
Yeah.
we reserve a bunch of tables, get a bunch of food, have a drink. Love Let It Fly, love Capital District.
Mhm.
And then yeah, I mean, I love sushi, like just like
Okay.
the team, and Yoshimoto is a really awesome place. It's like
Yes.
15. Have you been?
Yeah.
It's so good.
That okay. I I obviously like had sushi in mind from like Americanized sushi, and
Yeah,
I feel
yeah.
like after going there, I'm like, oh, this is sushi.
Authentic.
Yeah, because it's
Exactly.
so different than like blue. I mean, I love blue,
Yeah, I
but
love
it's
blue.
a very different type of sushi.
For
But
sure.
both are so good.
It's very like much more simple, but like the
Hmm.
preparation is so good and oh, it's so good. I think their chef is like from Japan and
Yeah.
he's like very skilled and he came to Nebraska of all places
Hmm.
and opened a great sushi place. So you should definitely check it out.
Yeah. Apparently, last week, one of my friends was telling me about this that they got some type of fancy fish. I don't really know. This fish
At
was a big
Yoshimoto?
deal, yeah, and
Okay.
apparently they like, not even the type of fish, it was this one specific fish,
Yeah.
and half of the fish went to, like, Nobu in New York, and half of it went to Yoshitomo,
Stop.
and I was like, "Wait, what?" That is because a bunch of my friends were like, "Oh, yeah, we're going to
Yeah.
Yoshitomo this weekend." I was like, "Why is everybody all of a sudden going there this weekend?" And apparently it was to get
That
that
is
fish.
crazy.
Isn't
Oh
that
my
but
gosh.
just that the fact that an Omaha restaurant is on the same level as Nobu
Yeah, that is
is
crazy. A
wild.
Midwest state,
Yeah.
like in Omaha,
Yep.
compared to like, yeah, that's great, crazy. But
Yeah.
anyway, it is really good.
Mhm.
And because I cook so much, I don't go out to eat a ton, so I don't have a
Okay.
ton of restaurants that I explore. The Gathering, or Old Market is
Yes.
delicious.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love to cook, and then just I feel like in the city downtown, I like to
Mhm.
explore a lot.
Yeah. I was gonna ask if because you like to cook that if that translates to, like, you being a foodie.
Yes, I
Okay.
am a huge foodie, and it's
Cool.
a problem because I love every type of food. So like
Mhm.
anything that's in front of me, like I want to just eat it all the time, or I want to try it, I want to
Yeah.
experience it. Like if I'm with my friends, I'll get offended if I'm like eating something and I'll say like try this, and they're like no. I'm like okay,
Why
but
wouldn't you try
right,
it?
you have to try it though
Yeah.
because I need you to like feel what I'm feeling. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a big
I
foodie.
feel like that's also just part of, like, being an athlete is you're
Yeah,
like, "Give me all the food,
yeah,
please."
true.
Okay. So outside, well, okay, I'm going to talk about some places that I went to this week too. That's typically like the format that Delaney and I follow. If you have been to these places or have heard of them,
Mhm.
give it a shout out as well.
Okay.
But Idle Vital Living, they just opened a second location, which is on 77th and Cass in that little strip mall, kind of by Genesis, if you guys know where that is. Their first location is up in North Omaha. They have like smoothies and juices and
Oh,
acai bowls. It's so good. They also pop up at the farmers market. I think both locations of the Omaha farmers market during the summer. But their new location just opened. It has all the same menu items. And I learned this that they have punch cards, which I did not know that they had punch cards
those are the
before.
best.
I know, I love
They're the
a punch
best.
card. But what I love about this one, you can use it at the farmer's market too, and I was like,
Oh,
"That is genius."
yeah.
I love that. I don't think any other place that I know of, at least, you can use punch cards at the farmer's market.
Yeah, no.
So, shout out to Idle Vital. Um, then the other place that I went, also a second location that just opened, is Reno's Karaoke. That's a fun one for team
We
bonding.
love karaoke. Last
Ooh.
year with the team, we went to Mo and Curly's,
Oh, yeah.
and they have live karaoke. And me and Kendall White, who's now on the Vegas Thrill, we're just like being crazy singing. But yeah, we love karaoke, so we'll have to check that
Yeah,
out.
yeah, Reno's is really fun. They have, like, I think 5 different themed rooms, so it's like private karaoke rooms. It's
Mhm.
not you're not doing karaoke for, like,
Okay,
the whole bar.
that's better.
Yeah,
Better
I
for me.
know.
Better.
I'm like, nobody wants to hear my karaoke
Yeah.
voice. But we did that recently for our team bonding. We have, like, 5 girls
Nice.
on our team. And you guys can get food and drink from Blue Sky, so it's technically, like, inside Blue Sky Pickleball.
Okay.
And then they added or they, like, made an add-on for Bob and Willie's mini bowling, and now there's karaoke in there too. So
That's awesome.
there's, like, so much stuff to do in that area, and then all of the food and drink comes from the Blue Sky bar
Mhm.
and kitchen. So, if you guys need some team bonding, Reno's. And I believe It's 18 and over, whereas their first location in Blackstone is 21 and over. So we love that too. And people always ask us about 18 and over places or 16 and over. So yeah, any other places that you love in Omaha? Places that you really want to try?
I'm sure I do have some. I also love coffee. Like
Ooh.
addicted to coffee.
Okay.
Every morning I need to have at least like one serving of coffee. But
Yeah.
there's what is the place? It starts with a Z, I think.
A coffee place?
Yeah.
Zen?
Zen.
Yes.
It's so good. And you have
Yeah.
the coffee flights. They'll put like a Belgian waffle on one of them. They also have like the best lox avocado toast that I've ever had. So yeah, that's really delicious
Yeah,
too.
Zen is like one of my favorite coffee shops. They just have really unique drinks, I think, and their seasonal drinks are always so good.
Yeah.
We are about to come out with a new secret project that we've kind of been hinting at on the podcast for the past couple weeks. And Zen may or may not be helping us quite a lot with that project.
Well, I should get in contact with them and you guys, and we can all work together.
I love it. Okay, so we're gonna skip follower questions today. If you guys are regular listeners to the podcast, we typically do a section with follower questions, and I did post a question box, but then decided that since we have a guest on, we're going to skip that. So if you guys submitted a question,
sorry guys,
I can pull it up right now if you want to be put on the spot and answer some questions.
I mean, I totally can.
Okay.
I'm all for the on the spot questions.
Okay. Sometimes I even have to do like quite a bit of research. So let's.
I'm so nervous.
Let's pull up the archive real quick and see what we got. If my phone loads in here.
See, it's the destiny of the phone. Like if it loads, it's meant to happen. If not, then we'll skip it.
Okay. We got a load.
There we go.
A couple people asked about fish fries. I don't know any fish fries off the top of my head, but I do know that there's other like bloggers in Omaha who put together a great list of fish fries.
Like fish and chips? Like fish fries?
I think it's a Catholic thing.
Oh.
For like it's part of Lent, and then every Friday they have fish fries. I'm not Catholic, so don't come at me if that was wrong.
I don't even know. So
but I like anybody can go to the fish fries. They're usually pretty cheap, like $5. You get like a huge plate of fish and mac and cheese.
Cool.
They all have kind of different menus, but there's typically some happening at churches like all over Omaha.
Good to know. I'm glad we're doing these questions.
And some of them, like I think a big thing is like you wait in line for quite a while at some of them because they're really popular, and you just drink beer while you wait in line.
Fun.
And then by the time you actually get to your food, you have 3 drinks in or something.
So
it's just kind
all
of
the food tastes good.
Yeah,
it's great. It's great.
So yeah, if you guys are interested in fish fries, just Google Omaha fish fries, and I'm sure lots of lists will come up. Unfortunately, we do not have a list yet. Maybe we'll rush and put one together. Somebody asked best steakhouses at a reasonable price.
This is not a question for me. I don't eat red meat.
Me either. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I actually did go to can't remember the name, but I did go to a steakhouse with my friends for my birthday. Which is so random. But we did go.
What part of Omaha was it in?
It was like West Omaha.
Oh, okay.
More. It's supposed to be famous. We'll get back to
There's probably a lot of famous steakhouses in Omaha. It's kind of what Nebraska is known for. Somebody asked any good bracket challenges at bars or restaurants. That's kind of a relevant one. Having you don't play basketball, but a sport. It's a sports question. Not off the top of my head, but this would be a good time to give this a shout out. There is a brand new women's sports bar that is opening in Benson. And we've mentioned it to you guys on the podcast a couple times, but we didn't know exactly when it was going to open. I just saw today that they're having their grand opening this weekend. So by the time this comes out, it'll have been last weekend. So you guys can go watch women's sports at that bar. It's called Set the Bar, like set in all caps and then the bar. So yeah, hopefully they'll be playing some Omaha Supernovas games in there.
I mean, if you have the word set in there, you gotta play it, you know?
Yep. So I don't know for sure if they're having like their own bracket challenge. I would assume they are, but I don't even know how long does March Madness last?
About like 3 weeks, I feel like.
So that should still be going on by the time this comes out. What else did we get? favorite restaurant daily special. Um,
Daily special.
it's hard for me to know like daily stuff. Oh wait, we have what are my favorite happy
I know Let It
hours?
Fly definitely has some. I know they have
Really?
like a wings day.
Ooh.
That's all I know, but they do have days for everything.
Okay, yeah, I know some restaurants have like a different like food thing every day, and then other ones just have like a general happy hour where
Yeah.
like every day at the same time is something different. Um, what else did we get? Best place to find vintage glassware.
Yeah, we should have skipped the questions because I am no help to these.
Yeah, like I said, even I have to
Research.
research these. We
Uh-huh.
also every single week we get quite a few questions about like what's happening this weekend. But by the time this comes out, like it'll be the next weekend. Just a reminder, we one post our what's happening in Omaha this weekend videos every Thursday morning. We also have a newsletter that goes out every Thursday morning. But if you guys don't want to wait for that stuff, or if you're looking for stuff more in the future, we have our event calendar on our website, just omahaplaces.com, and then click on the events tab. So you guys can always find stuff on there because I always skip those questions because by the time it comes out, it's kind of irrelevant. Okay, we will move on to events then. So this is going to be events happening the weekend of March 27th to the 30th. The first one that I wrote down was the NFM Women's Month Panel and Mixer Brunch. I went to this last year and it was really fun.
It does sound fun. I love a good brunch.
Yeah, same. And
Woman in brunch, it's
the
fantastic.
food was so good, and they like the panelists were really cool. They had I think it was the chief of the Omaha Fire Department, or it might
Oh.
have been the Omaha Police Department. I can't remember which one, but it's a woman, and I was
Mhm.
like, badass,
Yeah.
like you're so cool. And they obviously had other people there that were like in business and stuff. But this is happening Sunday, March 30th at 9 a.m. at Mrs. B's, which is like it's kind of like a separate building, but it's on the NFM campus. Tickets are $30, but I will say last year they gave us so much stuff in a little goodie bag that probably well exceeded that $30 ticket
That's awesome.
between like the brunch and all of the stuff that we got.
Mhm.
So well worth the price in my opinion. And I will actually be there
Okay.
at this
That's
event.
on Sunday then.
Yep.
Game day.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Speaking of game day, do you want to shout out the two events that you guys have?
Yeah, so we play next week, which you'll hear it. It's this week when
Yeah.
it comes out, but Friday, March 28th at 7 p.m. and then Sunday, March 30th at 3 p.m. We're playing, I believe, Grand Rapids first and then Vegas, or vice
Okay.
versa. But those are both great teams. I feel like we've had insanely good competition against every single team in PBF. There's been a ton of upsets. That'll be the second time we're playing Vegas, and we lost to them the first time that we played them. So
Okay.
we're really craving some vengeance right now.
Yeah.
But anytime that we're at CHI, it's just like the most amazing atmosphere. I mean, we're averaging at least 10,000 fans per game.
Wow.
D Wade, our announcer, he does like the best job kind of like hosting the game. And so
Mhm.
it's just a lot of fun. I wish I could sit in the stands and watch a game because I'm always so distracted. I don't even know what's going on around me. But
Yeah.
all feedback that I've gotten is like they want to come back after every game.
Oh, cool. Okay, I should have asked this in the beginning, but I just thought of it. What position do you play?
I'm an outside hitter.
Okay.
Growing up, I kind of switched back and forth between libero and outside hitter because
Okay.
people were like, you're too short, or you're too short to be an outside hitter. You don't
Really?
jump high enough. You're not strong enough. Anyway, I wanted to be an outside hitter, and hopefully I've proved some people wrong. But
Yeah.
yeah, so now I'm
Okay.
outside hitter.
Cool. I don't really know what that means.
So, okay, if you're looking like at the court
Mhm.
right in front of you, it's the position at the net on the left side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So are you the one who's like
Spiking.
Yeah, you're jumping. Okay, so that makes sense why people
Mhm.
were saying you might
The
be too short.
libero is the one in the different colored jersey in the
Okay.
back row.
Okay,
Mhm.
cool. Wow, so I'm learning so much about
Yeah,
volleyball.
I
love
love
it.
it.
Okay, the other event that I wrote down, this I want to go to this one. Wanna Be a Spice Girls tribute is happening Saturday, March 29th at 8 p.m. at the Waiting Room Lounge in Benson. Pretty much it is what it sounds like. It's gonna be a lot of Spice Girls music. Obviously not the original Spice Girls,
Right.
but some other girls who are doing a tribute to them. So that would be basically a big dance party
Mhm.
in my opinion. So that would be really fun. Okay. Do you have anything else that you want Omaha to know either about you or the Supernovas or places you love? Anything like that?
I just feel like I'm really happy to be where I am. And if you guys are listening and you've supported the Supernovas, or if you haven't and you're planning to now, just like a big thank you to the community support. Like it has been nothing but unending. And I have always wanted and dreamt of playing professional volleyball in the States, but like
Mhm.
this is really just such a special place to do it.
Aw.
Thank you guys.
I
And
love
thanks for
that.
having me.
Yeah, of course. I'm so happy you could be here. We've had like I said, we haven't had a lot of guests on the podcast before, but I feel like the ones that we do have on, we're very like particular about
Mhm.
who we want. Like we want it also just to be interesting for our listeners and
Mhm.
stuff. And yeah, we think that all of you guys should go check out a game.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
We're 3 weeks at home, so
Awesome.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. And when does your season go till?
So I think our regular season, we might have a game in May for regular season, maybe one, early May, but then our first, you have to be top 4 in the regular season to make the playoffs.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll be there. And then we should have a semifinal and final game, hopefully on the 10th and 12th.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, we will keep a lookout for that. And I mean, if you guys are number one now,
Keep it rolling.
keep it rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just got to beat Vegas.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Omaha Places podcast, and we'll see you next week.